Hi, we're here at BCTV. My name is Lauren Martin. I am the liaison at Riddlebrook School. I'm here with Sue Jennato, the co-president of the PTG here in Bedford. And we are here to share with you everything about the PTG, to give you information. So Sue, when I moved here about 5 years ago, I was looking for a way to get involved with the parent group, and I was looking around and I found the PTG. And I was unsure really what the G stood for because I'm used to a PTA or a PTO.
Right. We get that question a lot because not a lot of people are used to the G. People are always asking us what's up with the G in PTG.
Yeah.
So just some basic, let's get a little technical for a minute. PTA and PTO are two different organizations, but they kind of strive for the same goal. And a PTA is a more formal membership-based, and you pay dues and you follow the bylaws written by the national organization if a school chooses to be part of that. They also get some benefits where they're part of a bigger group. They do a lot of, at the national and at the school level, they actually do a lot of advocating for different school-related things. So it's a much bigger, wider view, a wider scope. Where a PTO tends to be a more generic name for any group that's not part of the PTA. So that's where PTG falls. There's a lot of different acronyms out there for PTOs, and PTG happens to be one of the popular ones. So that is why we are a G and not an O. I don't know why that was chosen way back when. That was before my time. But PTOs are set up where they create their own bylaws. They determine whether or not they want to have dues, and they tend to be more centrally focused on their individual schools and their individual communities, and they just really look into their own community. So anything that's not part of the national PTA is kind of considered a PTO, and then they choose their own name from there. So that's how we got the G in PTG.
Well, thank you for clarifying.
Sure.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed being a part of the board. It's allowed me to volunteer in the schools and in the community. I was a teacher before I stayed at home, and this has allowed me to get into the classroom and do the things that I miss in working with the administration. I say it's kind of like being like a grandparent. I can help the kids with their art projects, or I can read a book, but then at the end of the day, I can give them back to the teacher and go on home. So I've really loved volunteering, and you've been doing this for some time.
I've been doing this for a very long time. I first started getting involved with the PTG when my oldest was a kindergartner, and she's now a senior in high school. So I like to refer to myself as a professional volunteer, but I've loved every minute of it. I've done quite a bit of a wide range of things. So there's a ton to do in the PTG, but I will say that we do operate, as a bit of a formal organization. We have a mission and we have a purpose, and as you know, we have bylaws that we review. We have a board that's in place with representation from all 6 schools, so we work together, again, across the whole district to really strive to meet our mission and our purpose. Anytime we're considering different ideas or things, we always look back at what our goal is and what is it that we're trying to achieve. We have a budget that's set every year, so there's definitely some structure behind the scenes going on.
Right.
There's a lot of fun and games, but just so the community is aware that there's a lot of moving parts behind the scenes as well that the PTG does work on to make sure we're staying focused on what our mission is.
Yeah. So we had a few emails come through, and one of them asked, where do my donations go? And I think this is hard to truly explain first because there's a lot of things that we do. But at first, let's talk about where the money comes from and all the fundraisers that we do.
Sure. Yeah, as everybody knows out there, there's a lot of amazing groups out there that are fundraising, and PTG is one of them.
Right.
I mean, it's how we're able to do what we do. So we know that there's a lot of asks on the community, and we try to offer a wide range, really, of fundraisers so that there's something to appeal to everybody.
Right.
They're always optional, and we start off at the beginning of the year with something as simple as a support drive, where if you want to make a straight-out donation, you can do that, or we offer a handful of others throughout the year that you can be involved in, where maybe it doesn't feel so much like a fundraiser. Right. You're going to the book fair, you're buying a book for your kiddo, and in turn, the PTG is benefiting. There's the ski and skate sale, which is one of our big fundraisers. Again, you're getting some great new skis or equipment, and
that's
the
one of my
PTG
favorites.
benefits.
Every year the
It is.
kids' feet are growing, so I get to get new pair of ski boots for the kids, get some money, and just turn that money around and get some others. So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
And the PTG is making money at the same time.
Yep.
And
Like you said, it's a great way because if you're in the community, you can consign as well. So you can
Right.
put a little cash in your pocket as well as benefiting the PTG.
Yeah.
So
Remember I found you those Uggs?
I know. Those were like my best boots ever that I got. It was a total score at the ski and skate sale a couple of years ago. Thanks to Lauren. My favorite new boots. Yeah, those
So
were
there's
great.
a lot.
There is a
A lot there. And then we have the Collar Blast.
Yes. That
Which
is our
just
newest.
happened, what was that, 4 years ago we put that in?
Yep. This will be our 4th one coming up this May.
And that has definitely been one of our best. We had no idea that was going to become our best fundraiser.
Yep. It's huge.
And it's an awesome community event that everybody comes out and wears white and gets splashed with color and enjoys a run. And that's a great one.
That is a great one because, again, that doesn't feel like a fundraiser. You're coming out, you're spending the day with your family, you're spending the day with your friends. You're just having a great time. And in turn, you're going home with, color all over the place. In your nose, in your ears, everywhere.
In your car.
It's all good fun.
It's everywhere.
But like you said, that one's been amazing because not only do we get the support of the people that participate in the run, but we've had overwhelming support from the community and local businesses that have sponsored that.
Yep.
So we've been really, really excited about just that has taken on its own life, and it's been amazing. So again, another really fun community event that also benefits our schools and our students.
Right. So a lot of funds have been raised, and let's go back to the email. And so now, where are we putting all this money? It's very difficult to say it's to one specific thing because there are so many things that the PTG supports.
Yes, most definitely. I will always refer people to our website. We try to keep that updated with the information on the types of things that we do. But just to talk about a couple that people might not even be aware of, that we hear that a lot. We're like, oh, I didn't know that that was PTG supported. Bus tags that you see on the kids' backpacks for kindergarten.
So the kids don't get lost.
Yes, that's very
First day of
important.
school.
Yeah. So that's something that the PTG funds. Another program, if you have students at Lurgio or if you're heading there, a great program is Stand By Me that they do for 7th graders and their parents. It's an off-campus day of workshops that takes a village to put together. And PTG is proud to be one of the sponsors of that event. Another opportunity that we recently helped out with is Intercession at the high school, which again, if you're not familiar with that, it's a program where students have an opportunity to kind of learn outside of the normal classroom environment, and there's a lot of different opportunities, and some of them do have fees. So we help by providing the high school some additional funds to open up the opportunity for some students to experience some of those ones that have a cost associated with them.
And we also help out with the It's a Gas program, Great Artist.
Yes, it's the Great Artist Series.
Great Artist Series.
I know we throw a lot of people off with that acronym. When people hear It's a Gas, they're like, wait, what is that?
Opportunities Reaching Kids and the Artists in Residence. And those are awesome programs that come into the school to enrich the curriculum that the teachers are teaching. Allows the kids to not have to actually go on a field trip. They can have people come into the classroom. So that's a great one.
That is. The Opportunities Reaching Kids and Artists in Residence are by far the biggest amount of the budgeted items that we take in for funds. That's those two programs are the biggest, and those are going directly to the benefit of our students.
And we also help out with the libraries, the guidance department, administration, and we helped to fund the water filling stations last year and the electronic sign at the high school and Lurgio. And we give back to the staff by doing Staff Appreciation Week.
Yes, which is an amazing week across all 6 schools. So much fun.
The volunteers are so great for that.
They are.
And we have Grand Friends Day. How many seniors came last year?
Oh, we had over 1,400 seniors across 5 schools.
crazy.
So we're super excited to be able to offer that for the community to be part of.
Well, it's great for them to see what's going on in the schools. And
and we welcome all seniors. It's definitely a fun day to, maybe you don't have a grandparent around local, but that's okay. You bring your grand friend, your neighbor across the street, your favorite aunt, your favorite uncle, anybody that you want to show your school off to. It's a great opportunity for kids to do that.
The principal winter read night, which we don't know, if the principals like it more, or the kids, they get
know,
all
it's a fun
dressed
night.
up and read to the kids, and it's a great time.
It is.
Then I think not many people realize this, but the Museum of Science pass at the public library we fund.
Right.
And
You're
that's
right
a
on
great
that one.
discount.
That is, I just recently myself, I mean, I knew it was something the PTG funded, but I just recently looked into it this past summer, and it's a great deal. So again, yeah, definitely we encourage people to check that out if you're not aware of it, because it's a great savings to the families, and it's something the PTG funds.
Yeah. And then the community presentations, which are awesome.
Yes.
Looking at what current issues are going on in our society, and we bring those to the community to help educate parents. Lynn Lyons came. I made that like a nice mom's night out. And we went and listened, and then afterwards we were able to like talk about just different ways we could change our parenting, or just little tweaks that would make our lives easier with homework, or getting our kids to take a shower, just the normal things that we do.
The small battles, right?
Yes. But then bigger issues like vaping right now.
Yes.
Did you go to the vaping
I did
forum?
go to the vaping forum. That was a couple weeks ago, which was a really great event. The information was very eye-opening. So like you said, we also try to, we work with Superintendent Fournier. We'll also partner with other organizations like Be Bold on some of these community presentations. And like you mentioned, we try to find out what's the biggest concern out there. What are our students facing, or what are our parents dealing with? And how can we help educate them? So we'll go out and we'll try to seek speakers that kind of fit into those categories. We're working on some for this coming year, potentially speakers on things like mindfulness. Again, stress and anxiety is always a hot topic. And the continued concern with vaping and whatnot, those types of things. So there's always a need for a community speaker to come in and help educate our parents. So that's, again, another thing that I think falls under the umbrella that people may not realize. Our focus is obviously schools and students and staff, but we really like to work on the community side as well.
Right. And going back on to the opportunities reaching kids, because we said that's one of the biggest that we put our money towards. Because we want to give the money back to the schools and the students themselves. Yeah. And so some of those we had at the elementary school. We had the STEAM Museum. We had Project Nature, the bat presentations. I'm sure many people have heard about the Eyes on Owls. Yep. And we had many authors have come in to help kids with their writing, which is awesome. We've had some local authors. Yeah. Carrie Cariello came in. And at McCalvey, we had Brian Williams. Have you seen him speak?
I did. I sat in on that presentation. He was phenomenal. I know one of the big pushes at McCalvey and really across all districts is kindness. I mean, he was just a great motivational youth speaker on kindness and just how small acts can make a big difference. I think the students really enjoyed it. I know I heard afterwards some parents were talking about their kids coming home and sharing information, which is, what we hope for with all of these things. We hope that kids are coming home and talking about the exciting bats that they saw, or this awesome author that came in, and just sharing stories with parents. So, as parents hear those stories, it might, trigger in their head that, oh yeah, that's right. I remember, watching.
Well, it brings everything to life. We can talk about this in our classroom, but if you have more of a presentation and you can bring it to life, then it makes it just so much better. I think it really sticks
with kids, especially in the elementary age, that a lot of hands-on and things like that. You're right, it really does bring the curriculum to life, and I think it does help it
And
stick.
speaking of kindness, at Lurgio, they had David Flood.
They did, yes. He was another amazing speaker that he spoke both with the Lurgio students and the high school students. Okay. And his message was just really simple and direct. It was about looking on the inside, and he was a big proponent of students not eating alone, and he challenged the students with just a couple of simplistic tasks about just, again, spreading kindness and not judging people by what you think they may or may not be dealing with, just really looking on the inside of people. So he was phenomenal. He had a great message. Also at Lurgio, for anybody that has the opportunity to go in there, you've got to check out the wall mural outside the Media Center. It's phenomenal. It's just basically based on a bunch of literary works. That was also another program.
Was that through Artists in Residence?
It was. It was. The PTG helped fund that. We had a retired art teacher work with the current art teacher and some students to put that together. So it's just great. So I would say if anybody happens to be passing through those hallways to check that out. That was amazing. At the high school, one big speaker that they tend to bring in on a regular basis is Chris Herron. He speaks on drug prevention. I've heard phenomenal things about him. I know he was one speaker that was definitely impactful when my daughter had a chance to hear him. So the last time he was in, I did sit in. And yes, he definitely delivers a very powerful message and really makes students think. And he is a big proponent on prevention, on stopping things before they even start. So that's another one, again, that the PTG has funded. And he tends to come every other year and speak to freshmen and sophomores. So basically, pretty much any student going through the high school will have an opportunity, throughout their 4 years to hear him.
Yeah.
The high school's also done a really great program. They bring in a ceramic artist, and they work with the firing. I'm not very savvy on it, but however you fire up the outside, and and they're doing pottery, and then they'll present and they'll display the works of art. So the high school has opportunities for things like that, bigger picture things that will encompass a full grade or the whole school.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
lots
a lot of
stuff.
things. Yeah, lots.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I would say that pretty much, again, we can't do it. We can't do it without the support of the community. So really, thanks to the support that's coming in from all of the families and staff, it really keeps us busy on trying to find new ideas. We're always working with the schools, but again, we couldn't do it without the support of the community. So we really
speaking
appreciate
of that, every school has received the Blue Ribbon Award.
Yes.
For volunteering, and I mean, how many hours do you know that we got last year?
We average well over 20,000 a year.
That's
Last
crazy.
year, we were just shy of 24,000 hours.
That's just crazy. And I'm sure a lot of people don't really share all the hours that they're spending to help.
Right. We encourage people to keep track of all that they do behind the scenes, but we know they don't. So I'm sure that number is even higher. So it's amazing. This community is really great because they come out and help however they can, whether it's 5 minutes or 5 hours.
Right.
And like you said, that all adds up. And ever since I can remember, all 6 schools have gotten the Blue Ribbon Award, which is a volunteer excellence award that's put out by the state.
So that segues nicely into our next question that someone emailed in, is just how do I get involved? How do I join?
Right.
And
people use the word join, and we just like to make sure that people understand you're not joining anything. As we talked before about the whole PTA versus PTO and where we fall. The Bedford PTA, there is no membership. You're not joining anything. We span across all 6 schools, so we welcome anybody and everybody across the entire district to be involved, however it works for them.
Yes.
No dues are paid, but many hands make the work light. I believe is that the quote I can steal from whoever said that.
I think so. Right. So you can get involved in the classroom level, the district level, on the board level.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways.
There's a lot of different ways to be involved. Yeah.
A lot of different ways.
Yep. If you've got, again, you can go straight up and just, do the financial support. You can do the volunteer support. Even just participating in a fundraiser, buying a book at the book fair. That's another way that you can be involved because all that helps the bottom line of what the PTG is trying to achieve.
Right. And then another email that we did get was, I would like to volunteer, but my time is limited, and what are my options?
Yeah, and we definitely hear that a lot because we know we're a busy community. Everybody's busy, right? We've got a lot of working families out there, a lot of people juggling a lot, and we just want to make sure that people understand that there's loads of ways that you can get involved, even if your time is limited. One thing we have done is we've tried to do away with paper volunteer forms. The last couple of years, we've gone to a Google form online, and we encourage parents at the start of the year to fill that out. Fill it out for every school that your kid's in because each school's a little bit different on what the opportunities are, but that's your best way to learn about what's going on. You'll get emails, mostly through Sign Up Genius, that's let you know what an event is coming up or what a need might be. And you can help if it fits your schedule. You can help if it fits your interest. If it doesn't work, no big deal.
Right.
Yeah, no big deal. But that's your best way to just kind of stay in the loop on what's going on at the schools and how you can be involved. But in terms of your time being limited, there's a lot of other options. If you're not able to actually volunteer in the schools, like by being a room parent or making copies, that's always a great idea. But if you can't do that, there's opportunities to volunteer after school. Book fair runs a lot of hours after school. There's things as simple as
people just need to help cutting things out.
Right, exactly.
At home.
Yep. Baking.
Baking.
For an event. That's
Buying
a huge
waters
help.
for an event.
Huge help. Huge help. So all those things can be done as people have the time to do them. We also have, like a lot of our fundraisers or our bigger events are on weekends. Like, for instance, Lurgio does a Midnight Madness.
Okay.
If you can stay up past 9 p.m. I personally can't, but if you can stay up past 9 p.m. and your kid's okay with you hanging out at Midnight Madness, you can volunteer at Midnight Madness. And you can run the cotton candy machine and you just come home head to toe covered in cotton candy, but it's a ton of fun. So there's definitely things that take place in the evenings or on weekends as well, so people still have an opportunity to do that.
Okay, so if you would like more information, check out our website, and you can also like us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and you could email for more information.
Yep.
And you can get all the information through principal notes.
Right. Right.
We also have support the superintendent. He has a coffee.
Yep.
And the principals also have a coffee.
Correct. That's
where
another
you can
great
go
way.
and get more information.
Yeah, we do put out a monthly newsletter. Part of InfoSnap when the school year first kicks off is an opportunity to, basically opt in or opt out of that.
Yeah.
So if you've opted in, you'll get our monthly newsletter. We know that emails are overwhelming and people get a lot of those. So we try to email just once a month, but it's just a little snapshot of what's going on, what's on the horizon, what's coming up, what have we done. When we have bigger events like Ski and Skate or Color Blast, we tend to put out a couple more reminders to the community just to let them know what's going on. But that's the best way to keep up with what's going on in terms of the PTG news. And again, checking out our website.
Yep.
And as you mentioned, social media is big. We do have a presence. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're on Twitter.
Well,
I don't know anything about Twitter because I'm not on
me
Twitter.
neither.
But I'm old school. I'm still Facebook. I know. But yeah, so we keep up to that. We keep posting on that on a regular basis to keep people informed. We like to give shout outs when there's been a great event at a school for a thank you, or this artist just came through, or this group just was at Peter Woodbury or whatever. We try to give shout outs to those just so that the community is aware of what's going on at the school level. So there's lots of ways to stay informed. You can always email the PTG directly if you have any questions. Myself or the other co-president, Sonia Vandermeer, are always checking that, so we're happy to answer any questions that people have. We're always open to ideas or suggestions, speakers, ideas to bring into the schools.
Right.
We'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
So, we definitely encourage the community to reach out and send that information. We get a lot of those, and somebody's like, oh my gosh, I just heard this amazing speaker that we think would be great. So those types of information we definitely welcome. We'd love to hear from the community.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me today.
I'm
Now
glad
can
we were able
enjoy
to
our
sit down and
coffee.
chat. Yes, cheers. Cheers to the
Cheers.
PTG, and thanks to the community for all your awesome support. We, again, couldn't do it without your time and talents. So any little bit that you're able to contribute makes a huge difference in the Bedford School District and what the PTG does.
Yeah.
So we appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.